Good morning. This is Raven, and welcome to Empower Me, a strength building class to increase your sense of confidence, your strength, and your inner resilience. I created this class because I wanted to connect with my inner hero in order to feel more confident. And my inner confidence is very much connected to my higher power. And so having greater strength, which we need, especially as we get older, but at any time of our lives, it's so important to give us a sense of resiliency and empowerment. So with that, we'll be working with various methods of building strength. And I'm going to give you a lot of variations. So whether a person is a young athlete, Bruce Lee, if any of you remember him, the famous martial arts master, he used a lot of these techniques, but we adapt them according to your level. And the important thing is to get you strong safely. So that will be our guideline. Now, as far as equipment, there are things that you might want to have, but I'm also going to give you options for something you have in your house, or if you have no equipment at all, just using your body. So with that, let's begin. I'd like us to begin with an empowerment pose. So we're going to take a big X with our body. So take your feet wide. You can't see my feet in this picture, but my feet are wide apart. And I'm going to make a big X with my body. And as I'm doing this, I'm engaging my belly. I'm drawing my shoulders back, rolling my upper arms outwards to open my chest. And I'm activating all the muscles in my back. The muscles, my latissimus, my shoulder blade muscles, my glutes, my buttocks, and my hamstrings. And we're going to hold this for about a minute. So if you're in a chair, because that may be some of our members, some of our attendees may be seated. If you're in a chair, you can do this just as easily. Sit, if you can, on the front of your chair, and then take your knees wide apart, your feet wide apart, and open your arms up like a big X. There is a scientist who does a wonderful TED talk. Her name is Amy Cuddy, and she studied people's hormones. Now we're holding this for a minute and a half, so we have a little bit longer to go. She studied hormonal profiles of leaders and people who were not leaders, and she found that as people who are leaders and have a particular type of hormonal profile, and they also happen to take up a lot of space. Whereas if we're more shy or fearful, we may kind of close in and take up less space. So what she did in her power poses, and this is one of them, she found that if you took up a lot of space and opened up your body and held it for a minute and a half, your hormone profile would shift to that of leadership. So that's just about a minute and a half, and we're going to relax now. Good. Now, we also, can you do this same exercise with bands? So I have these giant stretch bands. And if you're using that, you can take one, take your feet wide, your feet are on the big stretch band, and you hold it, shoulders back, stomach tight, and you're going to press upwards. So you can, some of these are very light. They're like about, I don't know, 5 pounds resistance. And some of them get heavier as we get stronger. So that may be something you might choose to get in the future or use if you have one. So there's basic principles that we're going to be using no matter what level you're working at when it comes to strength building. And so we're going to start with the basics. Core, which is actually 36 muscles between here and connecting my torso to my legs. We think about the abdominals, the glutes, and the outer hips as being primary. And indeed, that's where our power comes from, accessing our glutes. And I work with many people who have not effectively worked their glutes, and it can directly impact your back. Stomach, working deep, pulling. There's a band that pulls inwards. And then opening up your chest, keeping that lift, and engaging your shoulder blades. This is your latissimus muscle. We'll call them your lats. And it helps to strengthen your shoulder girdle when you engage it. So those principles always apply. We'll begin with some upper body exercises, move into some core building and some movement, and then end up on the floor doing more core work. So for our upper body, and in this class, we're going to be using a lot of isometrics. Now, you may think of isometrics as, say, if you're doing a plank, or you could be holding a plank at the wall. This would be a plank at the wall. And this is what we would call an endurance isometric. I'm just using my body weight, nothing changes. I'm not increasing resistance. I'm just holding. This can be done on the floor, and you can do it with your elbows bent, many variations. Then there's a type of isometric where we're continually building the tension. And I like to use something, it's called an isobow. You can get it on Amazon. It's fairly inexpensive. But you can also use a towel, like a hand towel, to pull, right? And you can also use a yoga strap, like a big yoga belt, and then you make it into a circle just about this wide. And you can do almost all the exercises with a yoga belt, as well as if you have just a regular leather belt, if that's what you have in the house, or a hand towel. So let's begin with some upper body strengthening using whatever you have. And if all you have is your own body, then that's plenty. We're going to engage our core. So you pull your stomach in, feel like you're narrowing your waist. Draw your shoulder, keep your chest lifted, draw your shoulder blades down, and we're going to grab either your towel or your strap or your yoga belt. Engage your shoulder blade muscles, they're right here. And then we're going to build the tension. Now there's some guidelines around this type of exercise. Absolutely should never hurt. Therefore, when you go into your isometric resistance training, you ease into it for 2 seconds. You ease into it. If you're getting into your car, you wouldn't slam on the gas because you could go flying. Same thing with your isometrics. You want to take 2 seconds to ease into that pull, because I'm going to pull it apart. And I want to make sure my body's aligned and nothing hurts. This is effort, but no pain. Secondly, I want to breathe. If I'm working beyond my capacity, either I'm going to hold my breath, and don't do that. We want to keep breathing. So your breath will tell you if you're working too hard for today, this moment. Or the other thing that you might do to compensate is tense up somewhere. So we use the correct muscles, you breathe, and nothing hurts. Bring your towel or your belt up, and we want to take a grip. The movement is this way. Nothing is actually going to move, but that's the direction, you could say. Stomach tight, shoulder blades down, and we're going to build the tension. I'm going to try to pull this apart, and we're going to do it for 10 seconds now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we take a 10-second rest. We're going to do that 3 times, so 2 more times. The threshold for building strength, according to exercise physiology, is at least 3 10-second holds, working at, say, 50% of your total effort, 50 and above. And if you follow the guidelines, you'll know if you're what level you can be safely working at. All right, number 2, stomach tight, shoulders back, engage your lats. Come up. So from the side, you'll see I'm about 4 inches from my chest. Draw the shoulder blades down and pull. First 2 seconds. Now I'm going for it. 1, 2, 3. Neck is relaxed. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Breathing. 10 and rest. So we do 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off. And we have 1 more to do. Effort, but not discomfort. And we're building muscle. This iso bow that I use, I love these things. You could just use a plain strap. You don't have to use the iso bow, of course. But it bears 850 pounds of resistance. It will not break. And so I don't think anybody's ever going to top out. As I get stronger with my isometrics, I pull harder. I build more muscle. And then I'm stronger. And then I pull harder. So you can see it is what they call overcoming isometrics. It continually, the resistance build. 1 more time. Shoulder blades, stomach tight, and we pull. Keep your neck relaxed. You're looking eye level. And now you're building that tension, breathing. Make sure your shoulders are drawing down your back. 8, 9, 10, and rest. Okay. That was your posterior delts, and of course, all of this. And you'll probably feel it works every muscle in your upper body, your core. Pretty much everything is playing some role in this. Now, second exercise, elbows are at a right angle and not too far back, right? They're sort of at my mid-seam. I hold my towel, or whatever I'm using, right in front of my navel. Shoulders are back, chest is lifted, and now the direction I'm trying to pull is outwards. Of course, nothing's going to move. Take a breath. Begin to firm your muscles. And now you increase the tension. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I went to 12 that time because our first 2 seconds were really edging into it. So from now on, I'll do the count to 12. Okay, 10-second rest. That gives your cells a chance to replenish their energy supply. And now we go into our second one. Elbows at a right angle, belly is engaged. Keep your neck relaxed and pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this works your shoulder, medial, deltoid it's called, this part here, and then front deltoid, as well as shoulder blade muscles, core, etc. Okay, we have one more. Come into position, belly tight, look forward, and ease into it. Go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Okay, now we come to the archer. Now, hopefully by now you're feeling these shoulder blade muscles and how they work to keep your chest open, your shoulders back. Because a lot of injuries in our daily life, repetitive stress and trauma, come from the shoulder popping forward. And now that it's sort of out of its happy place in the joint, the tendons and everything else become very susceptible. So we want to get that shoulder back in its happy place in the joint, stabilize it, and then begin to exert force. So in this one, we're going to be working our bicep, tricep here. One is going to be pulling, one is going to be trying to push in the other direction. And I keep those shoulder blades engaged, tummy tight. So here I am, palm up, palm down, get ready, and pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm feeling that bicep. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. And if you're starting to shake, that's a good sign. That means you're really working hard. And at those levels, we build muscle. Isometrics are the fastest, safest way to build muscle. Now, what if I don't have an isobow? We're going to do this side now. What if I don't have something like this? All right, maybe I have a strap. I might have a strap. This could be a yoga belt, a regular belt. If it's a yoga belt, you can loop it about like that, and then you'd be pulling, right? Or these are used for stretching and other exercises. You could do something like this if I put my hands in. These are very inexpensive on Amazon. And I could get the same result. I could also be pulling a hand towel. I have clients that just use their hand towel. But what if you don't have anything handy? Let's do the other side and I'll show you. So I want to work bicep right here. I get my shoulders back. That's called stabilize your shoulders. And I'm going to use this hand to push down. So I'll be kind of close to the hand. I do the shoulder blades, my belly's tight. And here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you could see my arm was shaking. I was working really hard, no equipment. So all of these can be done with variations and no equipment. And I like to use the straps because they're easy on the hands and it just is a very useful tool. Okay, so we did our bicep, tricep. Let's do a few more. I'll use this now just because. Here we go, shoulders back, stomach tight, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. We go to the other side. You're either pulling your towel like that, you're using your arms like I showed you, one arm against the other, or you have something like this or your belt. Okay. So now it's bicep, tricep. Shoulders back, abs, your stomach muscles, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, one more on each side. Left palm up. Come into our position. I get ready by stabilizing my shoulders, engaging my abs, and then I slowly ease on. 1, 2, breathing. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Go to the other side. Come into position. Shoulder blades, stomach, your abs, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and rest. Okay, now we have a couple more positions to do. This next one can be slightly challenging, especially to those of us with tight shoulders. So go easy, meaning you want to really make sure you're in position. And then maybe the first couple times you're not using as much resistance. All right, so feel it out. You're following the principles. You will never get hurt. Okay, so I'm coming up as if it was right over the crown of my head like a halo. Can you see that? Shoulders, so I'm going to draw my armpits back, keep the chest up, and try to get those shoulder blades moving down away from my ears as I begin to increase the pull. And as long as nothing hurts, as long as you breathe and you're not hiking things up, you can increase the tension. Okay. I wasn't counting, but that's about 10 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds. Number 2, come into position. Chest up, shoulders back and down, belly tight. You look forward and begin to pull it apart. And as you pull it apart, you feel those shoulder blades drawing down. And you'll probably feel it in a lot of places in the shoulders. Couple more seconds. And release. So if you ever were able to do, or maybe you can still do, a pull-up, pull-up bar, or if you've ever done a row, these are the muscles that we're trying to access now, that we are accessing if we're doing it correctly. It's the lats. You could think of pulling yourself up. Very important muscle group, gives us a lot of power. You could think of it as the seat of the power in your upper body. All your pushing and pulling come from these wings. Okay. One more over the head. Shoulder blades, reach up, and stomach tight and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and rest. Now we haven't talked about the lower body position. So you have some options. You can either stand with your legs a little bit apart. You could stand with one foot in front of the other, sort of in a lunge, or yoga students would know, like a warrior 1 position. The point is to feel connected with the ground. My power comes from the ground, from my connection with the ground, which helps me to engage my core. And when that's solid, I can really bring some work into my upper body or wherever I'm working, whatever muscle group I'm working on. Okay, let's try one more. All right. Align yourself, look forward, ease in, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes. So if you want to be able to do a pull-up again, or for the first time in your life, this is a good way to start. And here's something that's very, very interesting to me, and you may be interested too. So, pretty new science in the last few years. They used to think in exercise physiology that when you added resistance, they used to think I'm going to reframe that. So, the old way of thinking in exercise physiology and training was that you stress a muscle, healthy stress, resistance, right? And the muscle grows bigger over time. And yes, that happens. It's called hypertrophy, and it means your muscles are growing. And now the latest science has shown that besides that effect, there's something in each muscle cell. You could think of it as a stem cell that releases a whole new muscle fiber. So what does that mean? That means if I put on muscle, part of that is a completely new cell, new Raven, new you. And why is that good? Because all those factories in those cells, those baby cells, it's like brand new baby cells working for you. More mitochondria, they're the factories in the cells that produce our energy. So all kinds of good things if we work really hard. But how can you work that hard safely? I'm showing you how with isometrics. You're stabilizing the joint, and then you're slowly building force. And you really can reach very high levels of what they call muscle recruitment. Means how much of this muscle do I engage? 10%, 20, or in our case, we want to get up above 50 and 60 and 70 and so on. So safely. Number one is safety. Okay, so we've done some upper body work. There's many other exercises, and we're going to move on. So we also talked about working your hips and glutes. And this is where you can use a chair. Okay, so when I'm seated in a chair, and I suggest you choose one that is high enough, like if you look at me from the side, the hip and the knee are about the same. I'm not down like this, in other words. Because that's hard to start with. Low chairs may be hard to get out of without using your hands. When you get out of chairs, you want to keep your body straight from here all the way down to your tail. That's what's called a hip hinge. It means that using my shoulder blades, my stomach, and my butt muscles, these are the glutes, I get up with my back very straight. Right about here, I feel the heels press down, my bottom fires, and I'm going to lift off. And that's a squat. That's basically everything you'd be doing in a squat. There's so many variations of squats, many we'll be covering. The easiest is sit to stand. But let's suppose if you're sitting in a chair, and again, if you're down too low, it feels too hard, put yourself on a pile of pillows. That's a good way to start. Cushions, build yourself up. Because if I'm up here, it's much harder. I mean, much easier to use the right muscles. What I don't want you to do is to throw yourself forward. You see, that time I didn't even use my butt. So that's not good because If I throw myself forward, okay, and now my thighs can work. But my butt didn't really work, my glutes. What does that mean? It means I'm putting a lot of stress on my back to get myself up. So that's not good. And we all want to have strong butt. That's what gets us up the stairs. It propels me forward in walking. I needed to get out of chairs, to even to come up, right? If I'm coming up from the floor, maybe I'm picking something up, I want to use my butt. And of course, stomach and shoulder blades. So I keep that hip hinge, straight body, hinging at the hip, using the butt. And here I come up. So we'll take this variation. If you're working really hard in the chair, or maybe you can't even get out of the chair, that's fine. Work on rocking forward until you press down through your heels and fire your butt and isometrically squeeze it. Remember, 10 seconds on, I'm pressing down through my heels, firing my butt, stomach tight, and then 10-second rest. And you can do that 10 times. For the rest of us who want to go farther, here we go. I'm going to hinge forward, heels are pressing down, bottom's firing, and it takes me up. So hand position can be here. If you need to use your hands a little bit, that's fine. Keep them here, but make sure you're using the right muscles, which means your glutes, stomach, shoulder blades. I'm going to wire into you the heel glute connection. It uses all the muscles in the back of the body that sometimes go to sleep. So here we go. Stomach tight, rocking forward with a straight spine. Press down through your heels, feel your butt, and now you come up. And there was actually an article in the Times I read recently, I think it was last year. It was all on glutes. And there's something called dead butt syndrome, which means that because there's such a prevalence of those of us working on computers, sitting, that these guys go to sleep. Why is that bad? A lot of reasons, because they get us upstairs. And if your bottom isn't working, your stomach isn't working, there's a lot of stress here, and it contributes to a lot of back issues. So this is one exercise to strengthen your glutes, and we'll encounter many others. So here we go. Stomach, heels, up. Hands can be here, they can be in front, just gives you a little bit of counterbalance, right? Now, if that's easy for you, your next level, you can come down and almost touch, right? I'm almost touching. Now I'm pressing through my heels, my glutes are firing, my stomach's tight, my spine is straight. I'm hovering over that chair, and then I come up. So that's another variation, which is more your conventional squat. And then the next level would be we'd add resistance. So next class, maybe we'll do that. Okay, so using those principles, remember, stomach tight, shoulder blades, bottom, always and forever, those three things will come into your muscle building strength programs. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing you again next Friday, and we'll cover other areas and keep putting it together in a program. Bye, stay fit, and have fun.